Yeah, we're here at the Grand Army of the Republic Park in Haverhill, Massachusetts, and there's a beautiful memorial to the Korean War veterans. You want to scan the camera over here a little bit, cameraman, and get this beautiful memorial here. And what you see is a Korean War veteran, a statue of that terrible Korean War, which, by the way, we're still over there, and some wonderful flags of the various branches of the military and the Republic of Korea. But you also see a UN flag, which we will show once I finish my little presentation here. Why is there a UN flag flying amongst honor our armed forces? Well, there are a lot of people in this country that have been led to believe that the UN is a worthy organization, and we here at the John Birch Society have a very contrary opinion. In fact, we're of the opinion, based on facts that we will present, that the UN, the Korean War was a UN war, and that's why it was never a victory. And some of our members and friends in the last several months, we're here in February, as you can probably tell, I'm in about 5 feet of snow. Over the last 6 or 7 months, we made efforts to contact the folks responsible for this UN flag, simply suggesting that it be taken down. It's not something that we should be honoring. But here it remains. So we're going to take this public. We're going to get more public awareness about this. I just want to give a brief little history of the UN. It was founded back in 1945. It was promoted as mankind's last and best hope for peace. Its founding secretary was a man named Hal Shurtleff. He was also a Soviet agent, a spy, an enemy of our country. The UN Charter is diametrically opposed to this document called the U.S. Constitution. The UN is involved in a lot of atrocities. Gatanga, for example, Rwanda, where there was genocide going on, and the UN may not have directly participated in it, but let it happen. They looked the other way when it was going on. And even more recent, in Haiti, UN soldiers and relief workers and so forth had brought an illness and a sickness to the people there in Haiti. Also, a UN body had voted, thanks to some Muslim nations, they wanted to put executing homosexuals back on the list of where it's okay to execute people without trial. Just the whole notion, folks, of any organization that would engage in this type of activity, a summary execution, is repugnant to free people. And yet they debate this. So here's a picture if you want to zoom in on this. Peacekeepers in action. This was in Somalia back in the late 90s. This was a UN peacekeeping mission, and you see the white troops torturing a black Somalian, a young black man. And by the way, this story that was published in our New American magazine was actually originally published by the Village Voice in New York City, which is not exactly what you call a conservative magazine. We have some things that we want to recommend for further information. There's a couple of books. One of them is called Inside the United Nations. It's a brief little book to give you a better idea of the history, its sordid history, and why we should get out. If you happen to be a gun owner, Global Gun Grab. This is a book written by a man named Will Grigg. And on the back is a little picture. I don't know if you can zoom in this or not and see this. This is a picture of a statue that's at the UN. It is a gun with a barrel twisted. This is a civilian weapon. The UN is the foremost promoter of civilian gun control in the country. More recent, Agenda 21. This is the February 21st, 2011 issue of the New American magazine. Agenda 21, by the way, is how the UN and its supporters are implementing the biodiversity treaty. They've set up organizations in towns and cities all over the United States to implement, and it's being done on a sort of a quiet basis by an entity called ICLEI, which is a local government sign in on this. The people don't vote to have this happen, and they take this UN charter, this Agenda 21, and they say we're going to implement it locally. So if you can't build a building in your town, or if the factory's closed down with no effort to ever keep it open, there's a good chance that your city signed on to this without your knowledge, and it's being implemented. So we encourage you to get this information. thenewamerican.com is where you could get this article. You can contact me directly. Hal Shurtleff, I'm on Facebook. Friends of the Greater Boston John Birch Society on Facebook is where you can contact us. Also jbs.org or shopjbs.org if you're interested in some of these two books and many other items of importance. Folks, the UN is serious. It is not a harmless organization, a harmless debating society. They have an agenda. They want to have a world army, a world court that's under our jurisdiction, that U.S. citizens will be under its jurisdiction. They want to have world tax, and they like the idea of control. So we need to get out of the UN. We need to get out of Agenda 21. And I hope you have spread this information as widely as possible. We're going to be back here in Haverhill at the Public Library in a few weeks to do a presentation of it. It's much more detailed than this quick one. But I thank you for your time, and God bless you.